yeah. Look at how my future starts to burn bright. I am chasing every single dream within my sight, never stopping till I reach the very highest height. Heavy pressure makes me feel like I am light. Walking through the storm and all this heavy rain, turning every single loss into a massive power gain. Breaking every single link upon this heavy iron chain. I will never let a moment go in vain. Oh, watch the way I turn this lead into gold. Listen to the stories that are waiting being told. I am far too brave to ever be controlled, taking over everything because I am just so bold. Burning like a wild and very bright orange flame. Everybody everywhere is gonna know my own name. I am playing for the top of this game. Nothing in this world will ever be the same. Moving through the city and I go so fast, leaving all the shadows of my heavy dark past. Building up a legacy that is going to last. Every single die has already been officially well cast. I'm sitting high up on a very golden throne, doing all this heavy lifting strictly on my own. Watch the way the seeds of greatness were sown. Every single skill has finally been very well honed. Making moves while others have nothing left to say. I am gonna find a brand new way, chasing down the glory in the heat of day. I am here to win and not to play. Feeling so electric and I feel so very alive. Pushing through the limits just so I can thrive. Doing what it takes so I can finally arise. Fueling up the engine for a very long drive. Rolling up the sleeves and paying such a price. Cold as winter season and I look like ice. Throwing down the numbers on a pair of dice. I will never have to ask for any advice. Finally I found a way to be truly free. There is nobody else who is just like me. Everything I want is what I finally can see. Sailing right across the middle of the deep sea, shining from a distance like a very bright star. Driving in a very fast and very shiny car, raising up the level and I set the bar. I have come from somewhere that is very far, making sure the dealings actually for very real. Harder than a polished piece of heavy black steel, spinning the lucky colors on a giant prize wheel. You will never know exactly how I truly feel. I have never let them bring my spirit down. I am wearing such a heavy and expensive crown, known by every person in this very loud town. Moving like a king and never like a clown. Watch the way I start to finally truly rise, staring at the truth with my very own eyes. Winning every single moment in the biggest first prize. I am getting better and I am getting wise. Everyone is heading to the middle of the club, leaving all the haters in a very deep sub. Cleaning up the vision with the very hard scrub. I am growing bigger than a tiny little shrub. There is so much power at a high stake. I am gonna jump into the deep lake. I am real and I am never being fake, taking every single chance that I can finally take. Putting on a very loud and very bright show. Watch the way the bank account surely grow. I am moving fast and never moving very slow, lighting up the world with a very high glow. Listen to the rhythm and the very heavy sound. I am standing firmly on the very solid ground, looking for the treasure that can finally be found. I am moving up, and I am glory bound, bound, bound. I am never, ever, ever gonna truly ever quit. Every single candle in the room is now lit, working on the style in the very perfect fit. I'm getting stronger and I have the grit, making all the moves and making all the cash. Moving through the traffic with the very quick dash. Everything I do is gonna make a splash, burning all the bridges into a pile of ash. Standing very tall against a very heavy brick wall. I am never ever gonna slip or fall. I am gonna answer when the people call, giving everything I have and giving my very all. Everything I have is looking very fresh and new. I am doing things that only very few do, staring at the sky and it is very blue, sticking to the vision like a very strong glue. Now the day is over and it is done. I have finally won and had some real fun. Harder than the middle of the very bright sun. I am still the only and the number one, putting all the rumors to a very final rest. I have finally passed every single hard life test, better than the others and the very absolute best. Moving to the mountains in the very far west. Chasing every high with my loyal drive, catching all the energy that the stars will scribe. Selling out the vision that I can barely describe. This is not a culture that you can bribe, but keeping all my secrets in a heavy vault gold. Walking walking through the winter and I never feel cold. Making every move because I was born very bold. This is not a story that was ever told. Watch the way I finally begin to truly rise. Looking at the future with these very sharp eyes. I'm cutting every limit down to my size. Every single moment is a really shiny grand prize. Catching all the rhythm in the very steady flow. Lighting up the city with a very bright glow. Everything I wanted is everything that I now know. Pressing on the pedal and I let it go. Playing every level of this very complex mental game. Burning all the bridges with a very hot flame. Everybody everywhere will finally know my very own name. I am not the person seeking any temporary fame. Taking all the pressure and I hold it high. Painting all my pictures on the very clear sky. Teaching all the people how to truly learn fly. I am definitely not just another regular local guy. Walking over the rhythm on the very busy street, drumming at the heavy and a very loud beat. Cooking at the mansion with a very high heat. Think of being someone that I really wanna meet. Moving through the shadows in a very wide space. Looking at the danger in a very cold face. Running through the struggle at a very fast pace. I'm winning every second of this human race. Turning on the switches of a very heavy light. Running through the middle of a very long night. Everything I see is looking very sharp and bright. Catching all the wonder in a very clear sight. Building up the energy in a very raw power. Grabbing every second of this very final peak hour. Looking at the world from a very high tower. Growing from the concrete like a very wild flower. Pushing on the motor with a very heavy drive. Feeling like I finally am really and truly alive. I am in the garden where the many thrive. Throwing up the digits like a very loud five. Finding all the answers in my very own way. Making all the progress in a very busy day. Every single game is a very serious fun play. This is where the legends will always truly stay. Diving in the ocean and it feels very deep. I am working harder while the other people sleep. Every single promise is a very solid big keep. Taking on a mountain with a very giant leap. Keeping all the energy and it feels very real. Showing all the world how I really truly feel. Closing every door on a very heavy big deal. Heart is getting stronger like a very solid steel. Staying very focused in my very private inner zone. I am never picking up a very noisy loud phone. Sitting very steady on a very heavy gold throne. Everything I carry is what I truly clearly own. Building up the value of a very fresh brand. Claiming every acre of this very dusty dry land. This is where I finally will truly firmly stand. Holding all the power in my very own hand. Lighting up the matches with a very blue fire. Taking all the limits and I go much higher. Running through the circuit on a very thin wire. Chasing every dream and a very deep true desire. Woo! Happy with the rhythm and I really will rock. Looking at the ticking of a very loud clock. Running every circle on my very own home block. Keeping all the secrets under a very tight lock. Moving my spirit in a very heavy grit. Finding all the pieces that will truly finally fit. Every single record is a very heavy big hit. Winning every battle with a very sharp quick wit. Deep inside the essence of a very heavy soul. Watch the way the dice will truly finally roll. I am getting closer to my very main goal. Taking every moment in my very full firm control. Standing on the summit of a very high peak. Letting all the actions truly and finally loudly speak. I am never feeling even a little bit weak. Everything I do is very fresh and truly unique. Living in the center of a